Yeah, good morning, Mark. Well, I can tell you from what we witnessed down here in downtown Phoenix last night was a little bit tamer in terms of the damage that was carried out, but a much different sight in Scottsdale, where we know that Fashion Square was actually broken into. But here downtown, after several hours of what was a peaceful demonstration, around 1 o'clock in the morning, that's when officers started taking a much more aggressive approach, seemingly arresting almost everyone in sight. Some 3 hours after what was a peaceful demonstration took a turn. More fireworks brought more officers. Explosions from law enforcement's non-lethal weapons shaking the street. Riot officers once again forming a line and moving through downtown, announcing they'd arrest anyone who doesn't leave. Within minutes, people here handcuffed and led away to squad cars. Later on in the night, the group that remained once again weaving their way to the state capitol, DPS pushing them back. Then this much more aggressive response by Phoenix police at 9th Avenue and Adams. Officers running towards the remaining few, even dragging this woman across the pavement. Downtown on lockdown. Finally, nearing 3 in the morning, the end to another chaotic night. And we do want to note that even myself and other members of the media, after that unlawful assembly order was issued, we were told, even after clearly identifying ourselves as ABC 15 employees, that we would be taken to jail if we did not comply. That seemed to go against what Chief Jerry Williams said on Friday, expressing that she understood the importance of the news media documenting exactly what was happening down here. Now, as this was all happening, police also closing off several exits on I-10 into downtown. That's in addition to the barricades and fencing that was put up here as well. And at the end of the night, guys, there seemed to be at least a group of officers on almost every corner down here.
John, I can see the traffic is still flowing behind you now this morning. Are there still barriers up? Have you seen any of the cleanup crews in downtown this morning?
We did. A few hours ago, we actually saw city workers and some street sweepers going through here, and there is still a lot of debris on the ground. Behind me here at Phoenix Police Headquarters, this is where there was a line of riot officers that were actually firing off those packets of like BB packs towards people, along with those large rubber bullets. So a lot of that debris is scattered around here. There's a lot of vandalism around here as well. Other items that were left behind. City workers are trying to clean that up, but there are still barriers up. Some of them have been lifted at this point. We don't know if they are anticipating another demonstration potentially tonight. You can see those concrete blocks still right outside Phoenix Police Headquarters, and past those was really the area where demonstrators were getting shot at with those non-lethal weapons. So there is still some of this fencing and barricades up even right now, guys. Some of it's been lifted, but they are allowing more traffic in at this point.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going to happen even as this fourth day rolls on, although we do know as far as organized groups, Black Lives Matter says that they are not part of any of the protests that are happening this weekend. But on that note, John, with the protesters that you spoke to, did they talk about any of the damage that they saw? Do they feel like their message at the root of this is being lost at all?
That's an interesting point, No. Hey, actually, we witnessed somebody shattering part of a window at the federal courthouse. That person then ran away once they realized that there were armed law enforcement officers inside the courthouse. But after that, as we were continuing to walk with that group, we actually had a few of these demonstrators come up to us and ask, hey, did you get a picture of that person? Did you see who that was? They were not happy that that happened. And I think that goes for many of the people who were out in this demonstration to begin with. And again, as we were talking about earlier, as the night went on, it seemed like more of these, again, maybe rogue demonstrators, the ones who were out here to incite some of this violence, to incite some of this response from police, those were the ones that really continued on. Many of the people who may have been well-intentioned again, or simply wanted to voice their anger, they had left at that point. So yes, many of the people who were a part of this initial demonstration certainly upset, especially when that vandalism first started.
Yeah, grief and anger manifests itself in many ways for different people, but we can't lose sight of the heart of how this all started. And on that note, John, we thank you so much for your time and for being down there, and we'll talk more